Him who knows that I know what he seeks to know, knows it well, while he who knows not what I know, or know not.
Hoy there, I'm Mr. McFacepunch. You can call me Chainsaw. Welcome to another episode of the Dragon's Dogma Lore Run. This is going to be a big one. So, we're about to meet the Duke, and I'm not gonna lie, fellas, I'm super serious. We are probably not leaving the Duke's domain this episode because we're about to get introduced
Well
to
met,
a
sir.
bunch of new characters and have a bunch of new dialogue. Once we start come to court, it's going to kick off a whole round of new dialogue. So everyone in the whole world is going to get new dialogue, and we're going to have to check out all of it. But let's go ahead and get started, huh?
It will be my honor to show you the ready charges for the worm hunt. The choice is yours. This is a high honor, Arisen. See, you do not take it lightly. Here are the details. Wondrous tidings, Arisen. The Duke is to grant you an audience. His Grace wishes to commend you for your valor and your service to the land. Know, however, that any errand you have taken on will be left to another to complete. You will also be asked to return your writ of permission to join the hunt. If you have aught left undone, pray tend to it afore you come to see the Duke, sir. I must be clear. Your audience with His Grace will put an end to any current tasks, and you will be asked to return your license to the worm hunt. Knowing that, are you prepared to see His Grace now? You are quite certain? No tasks left incomplete? No need for the license to the hunt? Understood. Then pray, enter the castle, sir. A guide awaits within to see you to His Grace.
Okay, I like how many times they're like, no, really, like, you're not going to be able to do the rest of these quests. Like, for real, I'm super serious. They ask you like 3 times.
'Tis plain that Salvation's only aim is to sow chaos among the people. It's no noble cause what drives them. No code guides their actions. They are not even beholden to greed or base desires. Truly, I can think of no more dangerous sort. I have heard tale of your feats at the encampment, sir. You fought with the valor of 100 men. Legends of the Arisen's power ring true, it seems. Tell me, sir, what think you of this spate of monster attacks? At risk of sounding mad, or else just cruel, I must say I cannot help but feel mankind must bear some part in it. Such calamity as we are stricken with now seems a message from the Maker, a warning, if you will. Perhaps the Arisen exists as mankind's answer to that warning, a force to right imbalance, to correct ill. But forgive me, I speak of strange notions far beyond my ken.
So, like, he's kind of right there. Um, it's not really the fault of mankind that the dragon is sent. Um, I mean, yeah, I guess very technically it is because since the seneschal is losing his will, that's why the dragon is sent. If you include the seneschal in mankind, because I mean, truly, he is a son of man, no more, no less. But then, like, the dragon does represent an imbalance, namely that the forces of chaos are growing, and the Arisen is a force to right that
How may the day
balance.
find you?
So, even though he's speaking of stuff that he doesn't understand, he understands more than he thinks.
Carelessness kills quick as steel on the field of war. Pray take care, sir.
I will, bud. Thank you. I'll skip that. All right, into the Duke's domain.
Tonight the fisher knight leaves the humble shores of home for the heady depths of court. Pray, let this token from humble Festi garner favor with the leviathans within. Oh, Tut tut, no time for thanks, friend. The Duke awaits. Sail on, dear knight, sail on.
All these guys are just jealous of my cool hat. Okay, so we just met Festi. This is Mirabelle. She's super important. More important than you think. Let's talk to Festi.
Pray do not play a greater fool than I, sir. I do not welcome the competition. Ah, the glorious return of the inimitable, the indomitable, the unforgettable! Scratch that last one. Who were you again? I jest, Fisher Knight, for I am a jester. I dare say every man in Grand Sorin knows who you are by now. Your fame is little wonder at the fearsome rate you've solved the duchy's woes. The Arisen nods, they say, and lo, the spears do shake.
Okay, so he kind of plays a little joke on us and says, "Oh, you're forgettable," but like once we go back to Cassardus, we'll see that like words of our deeds, like they've spread everywhere. Everybody's talking about the Arisen. We are literally a legend, and that's kind of important later. But let's keep talking to Festi.
And now his grace has you in his direct employ. Your rise to glory is an inspiration, humble knight, and no man looks up to you so much as I.
That was a short joke. Festi actually has a character bio, and it has no business being as long as it is. Also, like, don't like everybody's like watching and waiting for me, and like they're gonna keep waiting because I'm in charge here. So, let's go ahead and read Festi's bio. Festi was born in a small farming village in Melwar, to a large family who worked the fields without rest. It was in no way an easy life. Because a male child could succeed the family name and would be a great aid to the farm once grown, Festi's arrival was joyous and everyone showered love upon him. He was well cared for and even spoiled. However, after a number of years, it became apparent that Festi was not a normal boy. He never appeared to grow any older. The family had no money for a doctor, so could only hope that his growth was simply slower than that of other people. But years later, Festi's body remained that of a child. He could never help in the fields if he did not get any bigger, yet still had to be fed as much as anyone else. Additionally, being spoiled had made Festi a proud and arrogant boy. He threw tantrums if he did not get his meals on time, but made no effort to do any work himself. His birth now seemed a curse. One night, when their son was asleep, they looked down upon his childlike face and pressed a rag soaked in sedatives to it. Tears unchecked, they gave their son to the slave trader. Festi was sold next to a troupe of players. Looking like a child, Festi was forced to become a jester, learning all sorts of tricks and skills as required. Amid these trials, Festi's only wish was to gain an easy life. And, relatively soon, he did exactly that. The answer he found was to gain the protection of one with power. He toadied up to the troop leader and when performing, played his part for the nobles. He explained just how small and worthless a person he was, and praised the nobles for being so strong, so wonderful. Their egos salved, these powerful men and women took a liking to Festi and extended him their protection. As one of the most popular performers, a request came from Duke Edmund of Grancis, asking for talented performers serve him in the castle. Festi wanted this more than anyone else. Festi's ultimate desire was to gain the protection of those with true strength, get close to them, and live a life of comfort and ease. The Duke had awesome power, making him the perfect target for this scheme. The troop leader was afraid of earning Edmund's wrath by sending less than their best performer, so Festi therefore began his days as the castle jester. However, this was still not enough to satisfy Festi. Once he had learned of the factions within Edmund's government that did not entirely agree with the Duke's rule, Festi quickly sidled up to the anti-Edmund elements and began to work informing those nobles of Edmund's movements. When he heard of the increased activity of the organization Salvation, he next made contact with them and became their spy inside of Edmund's territory. This indeed seems a rather lot of effort, more than was needed to survive, but it is all for Festi's dream of an easy life. Thus he piles his wiles on all with power, and uses them to his advantage, never once trusting another soul, making use of everyone he can, and looking down on them all as he does. The jester Festi is a natural-born trickster, if ever there was one. Okay, so he has no business having a bio that is that long. But also, so these bios were released like before the release of the game. So if you read that, if you were one of the privileged few who read that, and then you came in here and you see him with his stupid little hat and his stupid little pajamas and his stupid little duck butt and his stupid little butt chin, you would be like, "Whoa, this is that guy!" Like, oh,
Pray do not play it.
so he's feeding the rebellion, he's feeding salvation, and like,
Pray do not
dude,
play a greater fool than
Fessy,
I,
I'm
sir.
I'm
I
going
do
to
not
punch
open the
you.
company.
But but yeah, so that's Festy.
Pray.
Dude, seriously, knock it off. Okay. All right, then let's do Mirabelle. Mirabelle is actually really important to understanding Eleanor as a character. Also, she's just kind of chatty, so I like her.
My mistress, the Duchess and I are come from Melois, north in Audring. Come all this way to a foreign land to wed. Mistress Eleanor, that is, not I. I never did marry. But yes, freshly come as a bride and the dragon attacks. 'Tis ill fortune, is it not?
Okay, so Mirabelle is single, guys, just so you know.
My... the Duchess, always even the business of this present marriage.
Ooh.
We, Duke Edmund is the
I skipped a
hero
lot, sorry,
slayed
guys.
the dragon in his day. But his day is long past, if you'll forgive me saying. And he hardly has a face to swoon for. Oh, but my tongue runs loose. You've a commoner's main arisen, that I fear has got me to gossiping like an old hen. Silence is golden, so the saying goes. I should still my mouth a while.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull up my notes. I'll read the lines that I accidentally skipped over. The Duchess never was blessed with good fortune, even as a child. I say, Milady needs to learn to speak her mind more frankly, if I may be so bold to say. Always too gentle, that one, too eager to please, and she's e'er been left holding the short straw for it. Okay, Mirabelle also, like, immediately after talking to the Duke, she's gonna have more dialogue, which is like kind of crazy, but she's a chatty, you know? She, as unexpected as it may be, also has a bio. Mirabelle had been raised to be polite and courteous, and she quickly grew to be an excellent lady-in-waiting, responsible for managing everything that happened around Eleanor. While Mirabelle and Eleanor maintained a strict formal relationship in front of others, the act was dropped in private, and they remained the closest of friends. Sometimes Mirabelle gently chastised Eleanor for her childish words or actions. However, Mirabelle still trusted Eleanor more than anyone else in the world, and when Eleanor was first told of her intended marriage to Duke Edmund, ruler of all Grancis, the first person went to for advice was Mirabelle. Of course, Mirabelle could not let Eleanor go off to a foreign land all alone. Mirabelle therefore decided she would go with Eleanor to Grancis. Eleanor had hoped for the same thing. Alright, so that's Mirabelle. She's chatty, she's best friends with Eleanor. She's a nice lady.
No further, sir. We're not...
Alright, I get it. But like...
I suppose you think it's easy work, standing watch, that we just amble about the grounds. Truth told, you'd be right.
Thanks for your honesty, Sir Tedric.
Thanks to the dragon, the castle's all but empty. The city, too. Grand Soren's grown quiet.
Okay, so that gives us a little insight into the setting. Things that might not be immediately obvious from like gameplay alone. Uh, we've already had narrative on like people fleeing Grancis because of the dragon, but his line really solidifies that. Like the city's grown quiet, the castle's grown quiet. Like there's just a lot of people missing. Thank you, Sir Tedric. That was very fruitful.
Word of your feats has reached us here, sir. You've the worm's own strength to cleft the Hydra's pate in one blow. No doubt you'll prove more than equal to the dragon. I await tell of your next victory.
Thanks, man. You weren't as helpful as Sir Tedric, but I appreciate your nice words.
I cannot fathom his grace's waste of coin on such festivity, while our defences stand bare. Just the same, I'll not refuse his wine.
Yeah, so there's part of that anti-Edmund faction that was talked about in Festi's bio.
Come no further, sir. The castle guard's badly short on men. I'm fit to beg help from any fool who knows one end of a sword from another. We're lucky to have folks skilled as you working for His Grace.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Pole.
Longevity can seem a curse when it means living to see such times. Another dragon once was enough. Another dragon.
Yeah, so that's a bit of actually like generic dialogue. That's not actually important.
I'll grant such gaiety may unite the men and stoke them to greater valor, but do we truly have the time to lend such pursuits with a dragon upon us?
If Duke Edmund judges morale that important, I'll attempt to enjoy myself.
Oh, man.
I fear your crown outshines my own. By my command, every road in Grancis shall be open to you henceforth as a member of the Worm Hunt. May your efforts help deliver us from the shadow of the dragon. As long as that damnable beast draws breath, I'll fain accept any help on offer. All right.
Did we talk to this guy? We didn't.
So this is the Arisen. I see no difference in your mane than any other knight. What is it you possess that sets you so apart? A hidden strength? Good fortune?
Sir Taskin's a little slow.
So this is the... What is it?
He's just like kind of dumb. Everybody else can like see the difference, and he's like, I don't think there's anything different. Like, okay, buddy.
The sovereign of this land ill comprehends the urgency of the danger it faces. This eve's empty pomp is ample proof. All gaiety, without a hint of real concern. I'll allow, 'tis well understandable. A people numbed by 2 generations of peace cannot be expected to know true resolve. 'Tis a lesson taught by fire and sacrifice. Pray let his grace learn before the fire takes all. But I ought not speak in such bold terms before his grace.
Okay, so this is Julian. Everybody knows this guy. Everybody likes this guy, except for the people that hate him. The people that hate him a lot. I don't know. I think he's a good character.
I've naught else to say. Pray, excuse me.
Well, you're excused.
I've naught...
He really had naught else to say. Okay, he also has a bio that we can read. So we will. Having been born to a good family, Julian believed without a hint of reservation or irony that everything was for the sake of the people, exactly as he had said to his ruler. Such was his duty as a knight, as it had been the duty of his father and his grandfather before him. However, upon arriving in Grancis, he was faced with the dirty truth, for there he met with the decadent, fallen statesmen. They had forgotten that which should have been their priority, the defeat of the dragon. And instead their heads were filled only with the desire to protect their own positions. As he beheld the great leader who stood at the head of such men, the purity in his heart began to slowly but surely blacken. He can no longer find any value in the continued existence of the country. The idealism to which he had clung for so long grows more and more distorted, and he along with it. Yeah, so he sees the corruption in the duchy, and he doesn't feel good about it, right? So, I mean, we already saw him with Salvation once, and then we saw him in the, what was it? Chasing Shadows. We saw him in Chasing Shadows, doing some sneaky stuff, being tied to Salvation. So, it is really funny that some people just don't know any of that, so then they get to the rebellion and they're like, who even is this guy? It's like, was this supposed to be some sort of twist? Like, no, you were waiting for this the whole game. This is Mercedes. We already know Mercedes. We already did her bio and stuff, but we're going to talk to her. She's a nice lady.
Arisen. Hail, sir. It seems you truly stand apart from the rest of us. Some sneered when I presented the Hydra's head, said it was your feat alone that won it. In truth, I cannot deny it. I had no hand in it. 'Tis plain fact. But what of the enlistment corps, then? What meaning does our fealty hold? I have no answer to give my men. To give myself. I leave me. I fear I will be well drunk by eve's end.
The Duke has seemed different of late.
I wonder why the Duke has seemed different. Also, this guy's fat.
I've heard talk. You're the Arisen, eh? It's quite an honor to be employed by the Duke himself. They're putting steel in the hand of every able-bodied man in the duchy. No doubt you've seen. Even so, it may prove too little. Considering the foe, no force is too large. I do not ken what magic you Arisen work to control the pawns, nor do I care to. Just the same, you're a useful lot when there's need for able hands. Well, keep it up. Well, keep it up.
Thanks, Ambrose.
Let us speak another time, sir.
Okay, Mr. Chandra.
Let us speak another...
What a pompous turd. Everybody else talk to me.
Danger stalks the capital even now. Are the rest of you truly blind to that simple truth?
Yeah. So, like, half of these guys are really unhappy that everybody's goofing around. But, oh well.
Even as his guest, I'll thank you to keep your distance from his grace. You stand before the Duke. You stand
All through my reign, I foresaw the coming of this danger. And so I gathered men into armies, stones into strongholds. I readied for war. And then you were risen. You came to us, and the dragon with you. Pray, think on the meaning of that, and of your duty. Carry on in your endeavors for the duchy, Arisen. As long as you've the will to fight, I shall see you are granted the opportunity. If it is work you want, see... I'll set... Do you think me an idle man? Do not test my patience further. Do you think me...
I do think you an idle man, and I'm going to test your patience further. Duke Edmund also has a bio to read. Originally just another soldier, one day Edmund awoke as an Arisen. Perhaps it was coincidence, perhaps fate, but just days later a dragon attacked Grancis. Fulfilling his role as an Arisen, Edmund enlisted a number of pawns and set out to face the dragon. The epic battle that followed would be celebrated in song for generations to come. For unlike so many before him, Edmund triumphed over the worm, slaying an evil dragon. In all of recorded history, there was only one other who had achieved this miraculous feat, the great unifier, God King Leonard. Yet now, Edmund too had defeated a dragon. With everyone singing his praises, plus the support of the noble Gildas, who had long been his ally, Edmund was propelled into the heart of government on an overwhelming wave of support. A number of years passed. When the former duke fell ill and passed away childless, Edmund was selected as his successor. None contested his appointment to the position of duke, for he was one of only 2 men to ever successfully complete a worm hunt. To refute him was to refute Leonard, the very father of their nation. Having been appointed duke, Edmund took the name Worm King for himself. This title, a reminder of his victory over the dragon, was happily accepted by the people. Under the rule of Worm King Edmund, Grancis has seen a long period of peace, and Edmund, with seemingly inexhaustible youth, remains hale and healthy to this day. Okay, so that's actually kind of packed. So, Duke Edmund, he did not kill the dragon, he took the bargain, okay? So, in this bargain, it seems that the dragon worked it so that coincidentally the previous duke fell ill and then passed away childless, right? So then, because of that, and Edmund's status because of defeating the dragon or whatever, he became duke. So that's the history of how it happened. Something incredibly important that is easy to miss is that Edmund awoke as an Arisen and then it was days later that the dragon attacked. Okay, so this is part of why I cannot consider Dragon's Dogma Online canon, aside from the official statements that say it has no story connection. Dragons do not make Arisen. We heard it from the Dragon Forged. We heard it in Duke Edmund's tale. All it takes is a strong will. A strong will is the defining factor of an Arisen. Edmund awoke as Arisen, and then days later, the dragon attacked. Yeah, in Dragon's Dogma Online, nothing matters. It's just a dragon takes your heart, you're Arisen, and it's like that's just not how it works. It's never how it's worked in the setting. But yeah, that's Duke Edmund. Okay, let's see here. Oh, we have to talk to Mirabelle again. I'm pretty sure all these other guys have the same dialogue as they had before.
Greetings to you, Arisen. Have you met with my Miss... the Duchess Eleanor? Such a beauty, we? Even back in Meloir's court, she was famed for her fair looks. I've had the privilege of tending to her since she was but a child, and still I fawn over her as if she were my own blood. And now, to see the child I hold so close, gone and wed in such a foreign land. Ought to have been a grand wedding too, I should think. A feast, if nothing else. But with the dragon come, 'tis not the time for such revels. Truly, the mistress has e'er been an unlucky child. Bad enough their marriage should go without celebration. These days, the Duke scarce finds time to speak with her. Oui, with the dragon come, he's important matters to tend to, but still. The man is old, I know, but isn't right to neglect one's own new pride so, if you'll pardon me saying.
Okay, so Mirabelle tells us a little bit about Eleanor's plight. She didn't want to come here. It's literally just a political marriage. Nobody cares. Duke Edmund doesn't care. He misses his beloved that he sacrificed to the dragon. He doesn't care about Eleanor. He did it only for political purposes because she is... Oh, hold on. We'll have to go and speak to Eleanor, and she also has a bio that we will also read. Oh, something funny. This is the Duke's Solar. I'm not supposed to be in here, but they can't stop me. I'm too strong. So the Duke, Mr. Edmund, is like actually significantly perplexed by the loss of his loved one to the dragon. And one of the ways they show you that is that in his chair, you can gather tufts of hair. Like, there is a set limit, but you can gather so many. So it's like, I mean, whether it's just because the dragon is back or because of, like, there's other stuff in the story as to, like, to show that he misses Eleanor, that the sacrifice was not in his favor. Ooh, hey, a side quest. We will not do that for a long time. Okay, so Visitor's Chamber. This is where Julian comes to hang out. And what's really funny is if you gather at his dresser, set of salvation robes. Isn't that crazy? Like, it's sitting right there. Just gotta look for it. Alright, let's go talk to the girl.
My. Apologies, dear warrior. But to see a face austere as the castle walls adorned with this... Still, 'tis more agreeable than the endlessly dour air of most of my husband's sawn swords. Valor dwells in the heart, after all. The brave ought not need their raiment to speak for their mettle, no?
Hail, dear warrior of the lovely helm. I fear I am remiss in asking your name, sir. Arisen? You must forgive me. I fear I am grossly ignorant in matters of war. I had thought all who fought shared the title warrior. But again, you must excuse me. I am Eleanor, come just a few days past as a bride to the Duke. I pray you will serve my lord husband faithfully, Sir Warrior. I presume the crown you bear is a mark of your station as the Arisen? I must apologize for my laughter, good sir. I assure you I meant no disrespect. You would gift me your crown, dear warrior? You are far too kind. I shall cherish it. I shall pray for your... Until we meet again, dear Arisen.
Guys, I think she likes us. Too bad we have Kina at home. But Eleanor also has a bio, so we're gonna read it. Born to the house of Bicard, Eleanor can trace her family line from a cousin of God King Leonard, the great man who once defeated the dragon and united the entire continent. Lord Bicard currently governs the lands around peaceful Melwar as main lord, sharing the same bloodline as the military genius Leonard. Those from the house of Bicard are blessed with a similar gift, and their Melwarian soldiers are widely known as excellent fighters. Duke Edmund, the Worm King, and ruler of all Grancis, defeated a dragon in the same way as God King Leonard before him. He sought to marry into the house of Bicard, yet the closest woman to Leonard in their bloodline was Eleanor. So Eleanor was sent to be Edmund's bride, though not of her own desire. She had not even seen the face of her future husband prior to the day of their wedding ceremony. The hero's marriage was heartily welcomed by the people of Grancis. Everyone believed that it meant the birth of a successor would follow quickly after, carrying on their hero's bloodline. But there would be no reports of an impending heir to hearten the people of Grancis. Even after the exchange of their marriage vows, Eleanor remained as pure and untouched as the day that she was delivered to Edmund. But behind the Duke's frigid demeanor, a dark secret is hidden within his heart. Ooh. I wonder what that dark secret is. It could be anything. I bet it's because this is the Duke's third wife and all of them have died.
Until we meet again, dear Arisen.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go rest, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk to more people. We'll meet Aldous first.
By decree of the Duke, you are to be allowed free passage into the castle. This right extends only to your person, and you are advised to comport yourself fittingly. A grievous breach in conduct will see you removed from the castle, or worse. You will take your orders from the Duke's Chamberlain, Aldous. Speak to him for further instruction. May the Maker see you on to further glory, sir.
How fared your audience with His Grace, Arisen? Aldous Ludric Sorn at your service, sir. I serve as a Chamberlain in the Duke's court. As you may have seen for yourself, it seems His Grace is unwell. In truth, there is worry enough to make any man's head ache, but I fear he ails of worse than worry. Perhaps I ought not speak further on the matter, for my own well-being. I am charged with assigning royal orders, tasks of great import issued by the Duke himself. Pray forgive the bother, but I ask that you come to see me here in the castle whenever circumstances allow you to take on assignment. The future of this war is murky, sir. May your efforts help to bring its end into sight.
All right. So we did it.
Well met, sir.
Sir Mercedes, acting captain of the enlistment corps, has also come from abroad.
Representatives from lands sworn to aid against the dragon will be gathered in the audience chamber.
I hear no end of praise for your feats of late, sir. An audience with the Duke now. You've become quite the lordling. Impressive, really. Have your pick, any you like. Come again soon.
For those who don't know, the Japanese community calls Asalam Oba Debitu because because of the way he says what'll it be today.
A fellow would be smart to get in good with you right about now, huh? Just a jeep, friend. Just a jeep. Have your pick. Any you like. What will it be today?
Yeah, Oba Debitu Day. Meredith also has a really important line right here. But we're going to save that for later. We got to finish up the Duke's domain first.
You know of the witch what lives in those woods?
Oh.
Aye, they say she understands worm speak, the dragon's own tongue.
That hexer's lived there for many a year. Even as a child, I heard cradle tales of her witchery.
His Grace is keen to seek out the old crow. Even now, he gathers men for a search party.
Okay, so we got interrupted by that. Yeah, so the Duke knows about the Witch of the Woods, which is Sophia. I wish we had a little more to suss out their relationship. Like if we had some direct narrative on their relationship, that would be really nice. All we know is that the Duke knows the witch from that little interaction there, and also there's a notice board quest that states that Sophia specifically made a brew for the Duke. So like they have some interaction there too.
The dragon's fearsome, no doubt, but we'll be safe here in the castle. Right. This is Duke Edmund Dragonsbane's castle. The worm wouldn't dare approach it. All right. It's right there in his name, Dragonsbane.
Sorry, Esperance. Your Duke is a fraud. I don't know that I'll catch it in the video, but if you come over here at the right time of day, you'll catch a couple hiding behind the tree to have like a secret little lovers meetup. And then also, I forget which room it is, but you'll see Mirabelle staring out the window at them, like just like spying on them. And I think that's cute.
As if we hadn't cause enough to worry already. I understand His Grace was an Arisen himself, but still, I cannot consider entrusting important work to a total stranger anything but ill-advised. Not that I bear you any malice, mind, nor that I suspect you especially, but there have been those who claim in false to be Arisen in the past.
True.
My reservations notwithstanding, you'll get your orders from Aldous. Take it up with him.
I was down in the markets not long ago, on an errand from the larder. Sure enough, food's grown scarce. Those stalls were packed with meat and fish once. Just more proof we live in troubled times, I suppose.
Okay. So, yeah, food is in short supply.
Don't have the will for much of anything, truth be told.
Alright, Roland. Well, you gotta get your will up, buddy.
Pray, pardon my asking, but are you come to aid the Duke, sir? We see so many warriors here to assist His Grace of late, I fear my memory can't keep up. Would that they were all like Sir Julian and Sir Mercedes. Goodly folk, both. And you'll not find two more diligent workers, I'll warrant. Some of the others are right scoundrels, though. They'll break the Duke's bread and drink his wine, then be gone again by morning.
So he's given us a little bit of insight into the aid that comes from the worm hunt. Because the worm hunt gathers people from all surrounding nations to help with fighting the dragon, you know.
Are you a warrior come to help his grace then, sir? The Duke's a good man, but so stern. I hope his stony manner's given you no offense. He's a hero, to be sure, but there are days I fear his frown worse than any dragonfire I do. It's a mystery what that man's thinking, least to me. Good days and bad he wears that frown. And I hear he's barely spoke a word to that new pretty young wife of his, the poor dear.
Barely speaking to that poor wife of his. Poor Eleanor.
I owe you an apology, sir. I confess dismissing talk of arisen with the other old tales I heard at my nurse's teat. But your actions leave little room for doubt. I am impressed. The Duke's soldiers are a hopelessly unwieldy lot. It takes an age to prepare for anything. What use is pomp and ceremony when it keeps us from the front lines where we are needed? Sadly, my position in the court affords me little say in such matters. It makes a man grateful for agile allies. I envy your freedom, sir.
May I be of service? Ah, the Arisen. Well met, sir. His Grace told me to expect you, sir. You are to be freely admitted to the castle as need demands. Something further, sir? I should think us servants of little concern to you.
You've been granted free walk of the castle. Trouble means more work for me, and more work is nothing I need.
True. Go off, Derek.
The other men may go in for fairy tales, but you'll get no favor from me, Arisen. Make trouble on my watch, and you'll answer for it. Same as anyone else.
Hey, I doubt it.
My, what's this? The Arisen, wasn't it? Tell me, what grand dreams dance through that head of yours o' nights? Visions of conquest, no doubt, slaying the dragon and claiming glory like his grace. That firm, set jaw, fire in your eyes. Oh, I'd like to see my own dreams of conquest to bed tonight.
Jeez, Dominique, settle down.
Firm, set jaw, fire. Oh, I'm
Like, I appreciate it, but relax. You're a married woman. And you got a side piece. Like, you don't need another one. She's horny. Mercedes.
You've made quite the name for yourself since last we spoke. I fear I must apologize again, sir. On the matter of the slain Hydra, there is talk on the street that it was I felled the beast. Mistake me not. I told His Grace true that it was your doing alone. It seems my name was added as a matter of political expedience. I've no love of politics. Lies by another name. And in these dark times, what's more? Who can spare the effort to keep up the dance with the dragon come?
True, go off.
Have you heard the talk? They say the dragon's coming to burn this place to ash. That said, be it ash or dust, there'll still be cleaning to be done. Know of a way a girl can earn some quick coin?
I don't know aught of dragons and such. I just do as I'm told.
So, Julian, I noticed you had something in your drawer. Want to talk about it? I'm stealing your stuff. Are you mad about it? You're a pretty patient man. I can't talk to you yet. This is Dominique's husband. He is useless. Ooh, this guy sucks.
Oh, it's you. Bugger off.
You bugger off, Raster. What kind of name is Raster? Your mother must have hated you.
Hoping to be the next Edmund Dragonsbane, are you? Better chances I'll grow a pair of teats. More like than not, you wind up food for the wolves long before you reach the dragon. If you had a lick of sense, you'd go back to gutting fish in whatever dirty little hovel you crawled out from.
But I believe this is the guy that Dominique is cheating on Fidel with.
So what of your audience with his grace? Even in age, he cuts an imposing figure worthy of the title Dragonsbane. In truth, he is of an age with my own grandfather, if that can be believed. The Duke is hale and hearty as a man half his years. A shame he has weathered all this time only to be faced with a dragon once again. The worm hunt runs deep in his grace's blood, no doubt. May he live to see a third.
Sir Giles really believes in the Duke, and I appreciate that.
If you've no business with the Duchess, I'll ask you to go no further, sir.
Right, Vincent. So if you come at the right time of day, Vincent isn't here and you get to talk to Eleanor. We'll have to try that again.
How did you fare, Fisher Knight? See, you don't rest on your oars, friend. That work has just begun.
The noblest of convictions can't fill a man's belly as well as the basest coin, eh? Mayhap I'm serving out my own sentence from some dread crime done in a past life.
I get to think in times like these, what aim does a man's life serve? If we truly lived for living's sake alone, what call is there for flowers? Why are we drawn to beauty, even in the face of doom?
So I absolutely love this line because it's just a gardener, right? He's just doing his gardening thing. But even that little line ties into the narrative of of the setting and the worldview. Hold on.
Alas, I have a head for flowers, not for pondering such lofty concerns.
Yeah, so he talks about like there's more to living than just like surviving. If all we were doing was living for living's sake, then what's the point of flowers? So again, this throwaway line from a throwaway gardener, not to belittle you, my man, but just this one little line works toward the worldview of the game, where it's like thinking about what it means to live is just surviving the same thing? Is that the kind of life that you want? And the difference between just living, just surviving, and like those higher tiers of life is like the thing that gets you to those higher tiers is will. Very cool. If we're living for living's sake, then what's the point of flowers? Beautiful.
'Tis a mercy there's work to be found given the times. Everyone's desperate just to weather the storm.
Ooh, Sylvester's going to his makeout spot. So, in Dragon's Dogma 2, I know we're doing our Dragon's Dogma 1 lore run right now, not the Dragon's Dogma 2 one. But, you know, the seafloor shrine bears the look of the Duke's domain. And I cannot tell you how excited I was when I came up, because like the way it works is like the way the cave connects to it, you come up from the dungeon, right? So this way is the dungeon. the cave, what is it, Stormwind Cave, leads up into the dungeon. The dungeon leads up to the throne room. And in Dragon's Dogma 2, when I came into this area, dude, my heart skipped a beat. It was such a dramatic moment. It was so cool. But it's a little bit of a weird thing, because I don't know if they included this line just to, like, keep more ambiguity in the setting. Not that we need that, they don't tell us much anyway. But there's a line that says that the seafloor shrine is, like, not made of mortal... it's not of mortal make. Ooh, you guys are making out. Okay, anyway. There's a line that says seafloor shrine was not of mortal make, but the problem is the Duke's Domain is definitely made of mortal make. It was made when Grand Soren was named the capital of Grancis 250 years ago. Like, we have a specific account of when it was made. Hey, there's Fidel. I bet he can see his wife smooching that boy from this window. I think it might be earlier in the morning that he's not here. I was gonna say, what if I just, like, pick him up and throw him over the edge? But that would be rude. Oh. Is this Winifred?
I don't know all.
Yeah, Winifred. Yep, I'm with Winifred. You gotta let me in to see the girl. Oh, you suck. Ah.
If you've no business with the...
Well, I tried. Look, the door's open. Vincent, just be cool, dude.
If you've no business with the...
I'm not gonna do nothing sketchy. I just want to say hi. I think it's starting to get late. I'll go rest and try again in the morning. Let's try to beat Sir Vincent so we can say hi to the girl. Vincent's still there. Okay, I know Eleanor has dialogue before arousing suspicion, specifically because I have it in my notes. So I know that Vincent leaves at some point. I just don't know when that point is. So I'm just gonna sit here till he leaves. Okay, I stayed all the way until the night watch is coming, and Vincent never left his post. So I don't know exactly how I got Vincent to leave his post before, but I mean, Eleanor doesn't say a whole lot. Like, literally, she says, you talk to her once, she gives you, like, ... so, like, she's trying to ignore you. Then she says, "Sir, ... Talk to her again, and it's another ... So she's trying to ignore you. Then you talk to her again, and she says, "Good sir, we mustn't linger so. The castle walls have eyes, and there are those who would misconstrue our friendship." So, like, it kind of teases the quest of arousing suspicion. So now, I'm gonna fairy stone out of here before I get arrested.
What meaning do you suppose those stones hold? One can reach it from anywhere with the use of a magic item.
Alright, with my goofing around, this video is officially too long and is going to take forever to edit. So that's the end of this episode. We did technically leave the Duke's Domain, but we, like, barely finished talking to people. We had all sorts of character bios, that was a ton of fun. And next time we'll start trying to talk to Mr. Bramage. Keep your mouth shut. Next time we'll talk to even more people around Grand Soren. Then we'll try to hit Cassardis. We'll see how it goes. We're not going to get ahead of ourselves. But yeah, it's been fun. Information heavy episode. Lots of talking, not a lot of doing. But that's what we're here for. We're here for the lore. And there's a meaty metric boatload of it. So, hey, thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time, okay? Till next we meet, one foot after the next, come what may.